Okay, so here we are on Friday's stream. As the next Friday game is going to be Doom Eternal. Got a couple of weeks we need to fill in. So we're just going to do some raids on Pokemon Sword. Personal file. And yet when you then tell other people for joining in, they then don't show up. It's just fun. No. And yeah, Mr. Wooloo rolling around at this station. Because Wooloo is best Pokemon. Hang on. Sorry, things slip. Okay. So this could be a little bit of a problem. Ah. There we go.
Sorry, my Switch needs to do an update.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully that won't take long.
Yeah, I've just finished it.
Okay, good. I'll try and find some raids while we're waiting. Excuse me. Here.
I've seen some raids at my end.
Okay, don't forget to switch online.
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay. Ooh, 5-star Grimmsnarl. I'll launch it. I don't know where Susie's hiding at the moment. She's still flying, so just be us for the moment.
I don't think we can take it.
No, we can if we just use the right Pokemon. Dark Fairy. Then we got someone else joining in anyway. 2 other people are in, Martin. There we
I
go.
just made it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah, there's Susie. On Discord. There we are, she's come online. Solgaleo, wow. Someone's really wanting to show off, aren't they?
yeah. I'll say this to them. Show off.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, it's a legitimate transfer.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be long until I'm using a Melmetal.
Yeah. What's that stream? Hello.
Oh yeah, now you say hello to the stream.
Can't go.
There is a Susie.
Hey, Susie.
Susie?
Huh?
There you go, that's better. We said hello and you just stayed silent. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm still had other things in the kitchen.
Right. So how are the kitties?
Alright.
That doesn't sound very impressed.
I've been asleep most of the day.
Right.
And plus, I dyed my hair earlier, so...
So you've murdered the bathroom.
Perfect.
What was their din din?
Cod gravy.
Mm. We've had a lot of fish this week. A lot of fish.
I should have given them some treats. Good.
Well, they can have treats tomorrow.
Like one summer.
Nah.
They're going to get licky licks.
Oh, some of their other treats are going to go out of date soon, so I'll need to use them up.
Yeah, you probably should do that.
I did a massive clean up cupboard and then realised, like, oh crap, there's a lot.
You better give him a lot of exercise tomorrow as well. Because...
Daisy?
Oh. What's up with
What are
Daisy?
you doing? I don't know, she's just wandering around like she's never been in my bedroom before.
Silly kitty.
Well, nothing's changed. Nothing at all.
And what about Pops?
She's in my window right now.
Hunting those evil birds. So what did Susie do for today other than the kitchen?
Sleep. Do more affinity building in Xenoblade. That's just about it, really. It was just a boring day. Yeah.
What's wrong? Did a TA attack you?
Hypervaginally did.
So what's Susie doing for the weekend?
Probably sleep. Xenoblade. Sleep. More sleep.
What about the kitty part?
I'll fit that in somewhere.
There we go. So, I think.
Stay away, TAs.
Yay!
Come here, you
Oh.
adorable derp. I was cycling fast and I was just like, wait a second, I know what that is.
I wonder if it's possible. Yeah, Susie, I've got a task for you to try then. Try assembling a team of derpy Pokemon.
Oh, blimey.
Once we have both DLCs out.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
What?
TA Islands.
Yeah, Martin, launch it.
Yep, I have.
But yeah, geez, TA's guarding it.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we all know TA, has plans. I just never expected her plans to go that far.
Oh, I can never forget.
Never forget?
No, never remember. Alright, steel. Is it bug?
Well, I found out that doesn't work because of the fairy typing.
Alright.
Ghost would work.
Yeah.
Poison.
No, poison you wouldn't want to risk because of the psychic side.
Yeah, that's a drawback.
Yeah.
Because whenever I see this, what goes into my mind is dark, but I know that dark isn't it.
No, it's the fairy
Dark.
side.
Yeah, because it's dark against psychic, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I have drilled into my head, but I always forget about the fairy side.
Yeah. Well, it was like when when we were up against a Grimmsnarl, I took in Butterfree.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to remember that fairies additioning on the typings. Because like Hattony, because of the dark type, it would be weak to bug. But the fairy side protected it from it.
Yeah.
Martin, we are waiting, by the way.
Guessing the right Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, your Excadrill would have been fine. Oh yeah. You'll need to watch the video I linked to, Susie.
Okay.
Because there was a few My Hero things in it.
Okay.
Because it was a little quiz about anime.
Oh, that just reminded me I need to watch last week's episode.
Susie,
I know.
I thought with My Hero you'd always be making certain you were up to date.
I do, and then I forget, and then... Yeah.
Susie?
Yeah?
Susie! Corner time.
No.
Yes. It's time for Susie to go to the corner. You put yourself a nice comfy seat in the corner so you've got no excuse. What's happened?
I'm just looking behind me, there's a pot literally hugging my radiator for feet. And
Aww.
Daisy's looking at her.
Like what? You fool, or I want that?
It's just like, oh, why didn't I think of that? But the fact is there's a box right next to her and she's not in it.
Have you got your phone upstairs?
I do.
Well,
Are you able to quickly snap a picture? Because this just sounds like Poppy being like, aww.
Oh yeah, what's your plan for tomorrow? Well, weekend.
Don't really know much beyond doing GTA in the evening.
Alright.
Then, well, I mean, it might work out with Alex for us to do Pokemon on Sunday, because last day of these raids.
Oh god, yeah, it is. Right.
So,
The last day of the boosted.
it's actually Monday it ends.
Yeah, well, it's the last. I thought it was Sunday. Yeah.
9th is Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
it is, because I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, either way, it's probably best to do a load of them on Sunday.
Yeah, stockpile then.
Yeah. Oh, one of our Corviknights got decimated.
It was me.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't checked Pokemon Home yet to see what I've been getting through Wonder Street.
Yeah, I remembered to do a Meltan thing today.
I just found out from my box that it's due to be used again in 3 days' time. So
Okay,
yay.
it used to be like a 7-day cooldown, so they've I remember they boosted it to a 3-day cooldown for a limited event, but then it went back to 7, so maybe they've just changed it to 3 days outright now.
I don't know, I think there's an event going on right now, I'm not quite sure.
Not a Meltan one.
Oh.
So that's what I mean. Because when they boosted the box, it's always been, event connected to the box. Because the event at the moment is a Shadow Pokemon event.
Yeah.
Extra, Go Rocket. No, it broke out.
No. That's not how you spell Moggy. That's not how you spell Moggy.
Oh dear, so is he trying to type dodgy things on the internet again?
Oh, fucking cat.
Aw, Pops.
Yeah. I got it.
I got it, it's fine.
Well, you have the highest chance, Martin.
Yeah, I'm using ultras.
No, Martin. Gotta remember, host has the highest capture chance.
Oh, Belltoy, get out my way.
Bob is close. Get away from me.
Looking for other raids.
I've seen one. I'm just. Oh, looking for it.
Yeah, don't fully. Well, I say that's Saturday's plan anyway, and like a little brief. I don't know what else plan will be for Sunday.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
Launching.
Angel's playing Pokemon Home.
On.
That reminded me, I said I was going to check Pokemon Home.
Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, this person's using Melmetal.
Nice.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
actually
it's a metal type.
steel type.
Oh yeah, steel. Yeah, metal.
Yeah, it's a steel type.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised it's not electric steel because it does learn a lot of electric attacks.
Yeah.
Well, did they make Melmetal electric steel? I know Meltan's pure.
I'm not too sure.
I'm just checking because obviously because I haven't really used Melmetal at all, so
I was about to say, don't you have one?
I have it, but I never really use it in Go.
Yeah.
So
No, just pure steel.
yeah, I was just looking at. That's the thing, because it normally isn't powerful enough for me to use.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't tend to get used.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the magnet family.
Also the other from Gen 7.
Oh, I got a symbol!
Wait, what? One from Gen 7?
Yeah, T.
Type no?
No. Oh, Togedemaru, yes. Yeah, Togedemaru, it was the Pikachu clone for Gen 7. Yeah, the actual Pikachu clone. Then you had Mimikyu as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's a wishy-washy. Hello, wishy-washy.
There's no flip-flop Bob.
I already... Do I have a flip-flop bob? I don't think I have a flip-flop bob in home yet.
Who is it?
What?
Bob.
Hold on, oh, no, don't tell Martin until he can say it right. All I heard was flip blob. Flip flop. Flip flop bob is what Susie calls her fish.
Ponyta?
Yeah, it's what Susie says to not get the cat's attention when they're getting fish for dinner.
There's no way I'm feeding man Flip Flop Bob. Too precious.
Choose flip flop bob or little derp.
Oh no, you can't do that.
I just did.
What if both of them had a baby?
What's it called?
I'm gonna walk out this. Well, I say walk out this room, but I will push this chair I'm on out of the room with me on it.
Oh.
And then I'll find the shop. Well, I'll find the little what was it? Whiskey glass and put some block currant in it again.
Oh god, please don't. Please. Your eyes. Think of your eyes. And think of your sanity as well, whatever is actually there.
I was about to say, me? Sanity? Since when was there any?
I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, but then Susie shouldn't drive me into positions where that becomes a thing I think of doing. Oh wow, that's 2 Hattonies that just break out right away for me in a row.
Blimey. Probably gonna break out for me as well.
And this is where Susie then says, nope, I got it.
I got it.
One right back there. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Guy, Doctor's tree.
Hold on.
I have 1 raid left. Try to get to it.
Just want someone.
Okay, Martin, how many stars?
Max.
Okay, I've got a 5-star as well. We'll do your one.
Sorry.
What were you saying, Susie?
Nah, it doesn't matter. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll do your one, Martin.
Shit.
Do-do-do-do-do. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Oh boy. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hi, kitty.
No, that was me.
No, I heard a bell.
I honestly don't remember it. Losing my marbles, Dad.
Since when did you have any?
Marbles. Shush.
No. You've said to me in the past you have never owned any marbles.
That is quite true. I've never earned
So how have you got any marbles to lose?
The hamsters bring them in.
No, they don't. Also, that toxicity wants to steal your soul.
When it can't have it, my soul belongs to somebody else.
No, I think that toxicity don't care.
Well, I do care. I wanted to respect my feelings and personal bubble.
Do you really think a Pokemon that looks like an angry cat cares about someone's feelings?
Not really, but it's worth a try.
It was a breakthrough.
It'll be alright.
Thick shield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be alright.
we'll be fine. We're waiting on you, Susie.
Sorry, I was a thing.
Going to murder a keyboard.
I hope not.
I mean, it's Susie. Murdering a keyboard is kind of what she does. And not even an attempt to deny that.
No, because I know if I try, then it's going to get thwarted.
So you just concede immediately to the fact that I'm going to make a valid point.
Nah.
Then you
I
would
wouldn't
defend.
kill this keyboard. I just need to get a flat surface and a better surface for my keyboard, in honesty.
Oh boy. Oh wow, now that one escaped. I'm not having good luck with the catches on this one. Apart from that first poke raid, I haven't caught anything.
It's me, I'm cursing it, I'm sorry.
No.
I never saw the catch until the end, like, oh, of course it.
No, they're all just breaking out immediately for me. Right. Also, raids have reset.
Mine have yet. I know there's a Zolsu raid out there. I said, no, I just found some.
Yeah, well obviously we want the Gigantamaxes. And you Ditto! Ditto Diglett, I'm just... I mean, technically this Diglett could be a Ditto.
Ah,
Because Ditto can be any Pokemon.
alright, what's in...
That... Yeah, Alright,
I got an Orbeez.
Giga or regular?
Gig,
1 second.
and it's maxed.
Well, that wasn't the thing, I was just Okay, you can launch it.
Okay, activating raid.
Oh man. Come on.
I'm just gonna be right back very, very quickly.
Quickly launch the raid while Susie's gone.
Yeah. They want to do a 5-star.
We've got 4 people, Martin. Come on. Before I sleep. Jeez, I'm falling out of my chair. Not a good thing. Okay, what one is still doing that? Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Jeez, or beetle. It's just.
It's horrible.
Yep. Oh wow, shiny Hydreigon. 6 shield.
In a row for me.
Do I have to? I'm gonna put a flamethrower on things while I sleep. Interest up to now.
Now to wait for one.
Either the timer runs out, so it auto selects a move for Swordsy, or I don't know.
Really?
Just take it out.
Alright, I'm back.
Yay, Struzzy's finally back.
I was actually back on the first round, but I was doing something.
Susie's finally back.
Yay.
It's gonna take a while to get through.
We just need to, I don't know what, but yep. Kitty settled down.
Poppy's walked out.
Aww. Was she on her bed?
Nah.
And Daisy.
On my bed.
She doing anything in particular?
Nah.
Well, is she what? Sitting, lying down?
Sprawled.
Oh, she's a happy kitty. See if she wants a belly rub.
Hey you. You want belly rub?
I got the dragon.
Yeah, well, that's what happens for bringing a dark type in against a bug type.
I mean, I understand it's a shiny, but come on.
It's not a reason to maybe screw your teammates over. It's not worth it.
No.
Oh, but it is, sorry.
Daisy being like, hi, Holman.
No, probably jumped off the bed.
Aw, hi, Pops. There we go. Down goes the orbital. Catch it, please, game.
Got it.
Still shaking. There we go, shrinking.
I also
Yeah, I finally caught a Pokemon after a lot of them. Yeah, hey. I don't know what now. That's not. So the raid I went for was not a Gigantamax Pokemon.
Not all was.
It wasn't.
Ah.
The annoying thing is, it was on the complete opposite side of the map to where all my other raids are.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Could have at least have been a Gigantamax to make it worth it.
Apparently not.
I've checked me raids. Nothing else.
Well, I'm working my way around. How close are you to a reset?
I'm 2 away from a reset. I think.
Oh, nice. Then I just have a regular, because this is sword, I have a regular orbital.
Of course.
I can get both.
I mean, technically I can have a Gigantamax orbital raids, but it has to be purple.
Oh.
Remember, orbital is not technically shield exclusive.
No. It is super, super rare, but you can get it in sword.
Yeah.
Because I believe
I mean, I've got a 3-star Kingler. I mean,
I believe-
look, you're 2 away, you said, from reset.
3.
3.
I just meant one. Just
Yeah, I'm just checking.
How many of those, out of those 2 you've checked, were either of them gigas?
no, but I cannot remember what this. If I have even checked.
How close are you to it?
Very, very close.
So, got 2 raids, no Gigantamax.
I'll hold
Oh,
off.
I didn't check it.
Okay. I'll invite for
That's
this
star
one.
toxicity.
Oh, I just launched this one. I'm
Shedule online.
I'm cancelling it.
Okay.
So you can do your 5-star toxicity.
2 checks, 5 stars, a knocked out. And
Yeah, we don't need to know what exactly they were.
Alright, invited in 3, 2, 1. God damn it.
Well,
Just when I was about to.
yeah, but it means we're not reliant on the dumb AI.
That as well.
I think out of all the AIs I had, the most had been Magikarp.
Like I said, the dumb AI. So let's just be thankful they joined in. And they actually went for a decent Pokemon.
I didn't see what they checked.
Silicone and Sandaconda.
Yeah.
Well, look, it evolves from it, so I was half right.
Yeah. Snakes in a cave.
Oh god, a mole.
So you want to be friends with Grayson then?
Come on, Jimbo.
Just champion of the underground. I admit I do keep flicking back to watch Game Attack because Volan's been learning rally car driving.
Oh, neat. Is that when they're live in what is it? No. Seattle.
Wherever Bolan and Grayson are.
Yeah, I think it says C.
TA is... TA... plotting Starry thing while making cookies.
Oh, cookies!
Yeah, plotting Starry things.
Oh, that was in the Tater Discord.
Yeah. Otherwise, but
Martin, just. But yeah, because you got Craig and Wes back at the back in the office with Chase.
Of course, Chase.
Yeah. Chase has just been screaming at everyone on Discord.
Oh my god.
I think he's particularly been doing it a lot since Parker left, because I think that was the one person he could yell at the office. For no, could yell at them for no reason, whereas you can only yell at Craig Bolan when they've screwed up and he needs to tell them something important. So, yeah, it's probably not why. It's just the way it comes. It seems to happen. Right, toxicity. Let's catch. Excuse me, catch you.
now what?
What? No, jeez, just.
That's wrong.
Oh, jeez, just don't say a word, or you end up in the corner.
We'll be off from that point.
I don't get it.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, Martin, don't do it, or I put you in the corner.
No resets. Great wise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that Kingler went away. Which is fine, because it was only a 3-star anyway. Let's move on. Oh yeah, is Poppy and Daisy now settled down?
Yeah, they're on bed.
They at least being cute?
No.
Mm-hmm. Come on, game, give me some more giggers.
I'm just sitting by one right doing nothing.
Yeah, well. Looks like last raid for me to check gives me purple. So. Oh no.
TA.
Worse.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the clown.
Let's do it. Let's just get him done. Good news, it's only a 4-star.
That's good.
So it won't take as long. Oh, there's only... Oh, Angel's joined in. Plus some other birds. There's only room for one left.
Yeah, it hasn't appeared for me, so...
Oh, well.
I just got in.
Angel's been transferring Pokemon in because they've got a Keldeo.
Yeah. I thought you were using Pokemon Home earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I spotted that bit as well, but it's just... You know... We didn't know exactly what Angel would have been doing with Pokemon Home.
I've seen this it's the rhyme for wild.
Well, congratulations, you've now seen him again.
The dumbest design Pokemon to exist.
No, I think there's dumber designs. Oh wow, shiny Incineroar.
Go off.
That's from our rando person.
Yeah.
I like it. This is a Mr. Rhyme, yet it's female.
That's rare though, isn't it?
Yeah, the chance is very, very slim. Though I do admit, I keep forgetting that there is a chance of them being female. So I keep thinking it is a gender-locked line.
Yeah.
Oh. Ow. Freaking miracle. You will pay for that. Just like he will pay for his insolence. And his insolence.
I'm so close without playing the game, it's actually not ink.
Right, there we go. Done. One rhyme beaten. Game. Right. So, anyone reset?
No.
Unknown yet.
Steelix.
Oh, you're down that area.
No, I'm up top.
Steelix can be in multiple areas, which is weird considering. Yeah.
I mean, a few of them have a couple of overworld locations.
I found Steelix in one spot. The overworld.
So, yeah. All my raids left are
Hey, you've just
non-gigant.
got a Scraggy.
That's a Heloisk.
Oh, Heloist? Oh, yeah, it is!
Maybe we could try joining it.
Yeah. Join him.
Mine haven't. My race haven't.
Does Martin even have Angel on Friends?
I don't think so.
Okay, I got in and it's full.
Yeah, because I tried to get in and it's... Yeah.
Well, you two do a raid together while I do this with Angel. Because that should get one of you to reset.
I've only got one raid left.
Yeah, so whichever one of you can launch a raid first, launch it so the other can join in.
Corsola.
Okay. Go for this.
Oh, it's no, it's a rough tail.
Yeah.
Yay, Susie doesn't know her Pokemon.
I can't even defend it because it's true, I don't.
And yet you bought the entire Pokedex.
Because...
Meaning you don't have an excuse.
Yeah, but I don't look at it every day, memorize.
That's not what I meant.
I know, but still.
Do it. Oh wow, one person's got a shiny surf etched.
Oh, neat.
It is just a yellow ducky now.
I really want one because of that feature. I'm just like,
I think having Pokemon so far going to be added across the expansion. There are about 87 Pokemon being added to the expansion pass.
They've said 200, that's all we know so far.
granted, we don't know which ones are being added.
I'm just looking at the Bloodstained. We've got both Meteorons.
Yeah, Martin, don't. I've already gone over that stuff. As I say, it's going to be 200 Pokemon across both DLCs, so we're effectively looking at 100 in each.
I'm pretty excited for the DLC.
Mm-hmm. And this Heloisk is beaten. Bye bye. Da-da-da.
Alright, our thing is beaten.
Okay, so that means one or both of you should have a reset.
Mine should have a reset. I need one more for a reset.
I mean, we can quickly do one raid while Martin goes and searches.
Well, my final raid is a pseudo Rudo, but I don't really want to fight it.
Hold on, I was near a raid anyway. Oh, so I mean, the only problem is my one's a 5-star.
What is it?
Aquarachnid.
I think we can handle that.
Hold on, I'm just gonna go check another one, see if I have anything lower.
Yep, confirming raids have reset.
Yeah, well, you try and go and find something while I go back through. No, 5-star government. Yeah.
Out the way out.
Kind of looks like all the Snorlax! Damn you, Snorlax, getting in the way. Oh, Angel's doing a squirrel. So he's completely ignoring the fact that what I just said.
Go! I'm in.
What, an Angel's raid?
Yeah.
Okay, well Martin looks.
Because then it resets my raid.
No, yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get it.
Get in the room. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, gives Martin a moment to look while. Oh, well, you're alright.
Yeah, my controller nearly fell off my lap and that nearly gave me a heart. I don't really want.
Oh, Suzy.
Yes, the thing hasn't popped on my screen yet. So
Well, let's say if you don't have Angel's friend code, that's probably why. Like I say, you just go and start finding any Gigantamaxes. Because that means you can launch them once we're done.
Oh, is it shiny?
Wait, oh yeah, the Scrafty.
Yeah. That's really cute.
Derpy squirrel! Yeah, Susie, you really have to make a derpy team once all the DLC is out.
Definitely.
We have got to do a battle at some point of just some rough, random fun teams. I'll work out some fun theme for mine. Yeah, you just get a team of Pokemon that are all derpy.
The Derpymons.
Yeah. Has to be led with Captain. Well, you have to have a Captain Derpy on it though, because you can't do a derpy team without him. Or her.
Of course.
You just have to have as long as there's a Captain Derpy, you can use any other derpy Pokemon.
Wait.
And this is where you send out a team of 6 Captain Derpies.
I really want to send out. I want to include the new mythical because the name of it, Zaru. The first time I heard it, I was like, Zaru Sandstorm. But I had no regrets.
Wait, what?
Okay, I just realized. There's a song called Darude Sandstorm which became a massive meme a couple of years ago. And because Zarude sounds like Zarude, that's what put into my head immediately.
Yeah, but it's not a derpy Pokemon, so you can't use it on the derpy team.
No, I can't. Poop. Mate, there's literally no point in healing in raids. Just die. Especially when it's a raid like this.
How's your search going, Martin?
Not very well.
Oh dear.
I found 5, but no Gigantamax.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to finish this raid.
Got one. That's only 3 star.
Well, we'll take it, I guess.
Toxicity.
Yeah,
My raids reset after this.
yeah, well, we can do that one right away. Down goes Green.
Bye bye, squirrel.
You just still look so happy when you've beaten it. That's probably the one thing I can never take seriously about that Pokemon. It's just like, yay, you beat me!
I'm dead! God damn it. No, no, no.
Why? Don't do that.
Breathe, please. Please.
Gotta stop doing things that makes me stop having a hard time breathing.
All I said was, I'm dead!
It's just the way you say it.
Yay!
Well, let's calm down.
Please breathe, please. Please.
My chest gets sore.
Think positive thoughts.
Right, we got a raid to do or not?
Am I looking?
Joy-Cons. See, now more times stop.
You know you're being so loud I can hear you through the floor before you even come through Discord.
Yeah.
Watching.
Aww, Tilapia.
All that. Winning Martin's raid.
Hang on. Yeah, just the different codes. And
What?
Angel.
Oh yeah, well you can't do it at the minute, Martin, but you have to close your game to do it. Let him know you'll do it after I'm done streaming. Because
Why
you'll...
isn't your friend request? Because you could go on previous people that you played with and then add them.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you could probably quickly add him after we've done this raid, Martin.
Okay.
So I'm still searching, so.
It's only a 3-star.
Yeah, we can get this one done, Martin, while Susie looks. Come on, 'cause it's meant to be rapid fire things. Yee, Alex, yeah, we saw some of the stuff. Oh, wait, the one you put in Taylorcraft we saw, that one's fine. Oh, right, no, it's Angel posting in Discord as a whole. So... probably means Angel is listening to the stream. Yeah, I saw that picture, Alex, now, so... Yep.
That is wrong. A lot of. I
Uh,
don't think that is. Where's on that picture that Alex did?
yeah, that happens. The one you put now is fine. So yeah, once we've done this raid, Martin, if you go and add Angel.
Yeah.
So,
It's pretty cute. It's like your combo.
signed up.
Yeah, derpy one. Oh my god, Cormorant is going to be part of my derpy team. So they have Captain Derpy, Licky Tongue. No, not Licky Tongue.
Licky.
Problem is we don't know if Licky Licky's going to be added back in yet.
Yeah, Slowpoke, that's it.
Well, slow bro, slow king, so...
Yeah.
Because, yeah, look, well, I'll allow evolutions, even if the evolution is no longer derpy.
I mean, the evolution is somewhat derpy.
Yeah, but we remember they're getting regional variant.
Yeah, that is true. We still don't know what the regional variant is.
No, we've been teased what Slow King looks like, but we don't know the full look. Because they hid the head. So... Spinder. But yeah, how's bits for you, Alex?
Yeah, how you doing, Alex?
Oops, I didn't mean to select that one, never mind. It was only 3 stars. Well, I think that's a given what you're doing at uni. I would be concerned if you were at uni doing something art-based and you were not doing art.
That is pretty simple. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an email today about R6.
Oh.
Just a general survey looking at, the stuff they just did with the in Siege. Yeah, my simple response was, you do not need a battle pass.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I basically was like, no, you do not need to do more money-making things. You already get enough from selling us the pass for the year.
I have 2 gigas.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4 stars.
Uh-huh.
Grimsnell and Old Man Kingdom.
Let's do a seismic.
But I'm at the Grimsnell.
Then why are you making it sound like there's an option?
Because blah 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 blah.
Right, that's it. I'm going to go take a shot.
No! You come back here.
I hadn't moved yet.
Good. Stay like that.
I'm swinging the chair back and forth.
No.
Swinging to the right. Swinging to the left. Back to the right. Left.
Sit down.
You forgetting I have a swivel chair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that also was a thing, Alex. Well, launch a raid then.
Alright. I did it. I did a thing.
Why? Now, do you want a gold star or something?
Yeah. Where's my gold star?
You ain't getting one.
Rude.
Well, you don't need one for what you just did.
Rude.
Ooh, okay. Might have to look at that thing for tomorrow.
I didn't. Oh, lost connection.
Yeah, that happens when you, well, you adding Angel's friend code?
Yep.
Yeah, that happens when you go and do that. So you got 2 minutes, so... Yeah, I mean, my back's decent at the moment. Obviously, it's hard to know until the day. That's the key thing. You have to remember, my back is always bad. It just, with everything that... With how unwell I'd been, it was just making it worse. So...
I admit that's one of the things I worry about when I go out of country.
So... I'm spinning around in the chair.
I like spinning.
Despite Susie telling me I shouldn't be moving around.
Oh. Well, you can move around in a chair as long as you're not reeling it across the kitchen, getting yourself a shot glass, well, whiskey glass, and then taking straight shots over feet.
Ah, memories.
I was actually scared of your eyes.
And if anyone wants to know what we're talking about, go over to my YouTube channel, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go look in the archived videos for when we played Stupid Souls.
I need to find that.
I actually can't remember what I called the video, so I'm going to go to YouTube. My channel. I really need to remember what I called this one. Set the move. It's in the Susie is back playlist. So, oh yeah, time to play some Stupid Souls. That's what I called the video. So yeah, watch that if you want to know what went on that made me take straight shots of blackcurrant. And the results are not nice.
Yeah, she went downstairs.
Oh boy.
Is it too late to send these cats back? They're broken.
Send them to me!
Yeah, I would miss them.
Send them to me! I'll take them.
Nah.
But Daisy in particular likes me.
And it's Gila. Yeah, Gila too. Yes, he do. Yes, he do.
Da, 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 da. Oh boy. Da, 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 da. We're waiting for someone.
Oh, sorry, just kind of distracted.
Yay! Okay, this. Okay, that was this one, so I'm not going to worry because you said this was a 4-star.
Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, both my raids are 4 stars.
If you want to go find the seismic,
Yep.
I'm just still waiting on raid resets. Easy way to keep an eye out. Get the energy from that one.
Angel's got a UFO.
Oh.
It's only a 3-star, but it's a UFO still. Only 1 space left.
I'm looking for it. It's not showing up. Yeah. There it is. No, it's limit. Oh well. Do you want to launch a raid, Martin?
See what I've got.
Because, yeah, I've got nothing decent.
All of the raids I've got, nothing of interest.
Yeah, we'll just launch something so we can pass the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I actually enjoyed the finale beyond the fact they tried doing too much at once. So, I'll say because I'm not going to go into spoilers just because. But all I'll say is that they should have kept the Cyberman story and the Lost Child, was it called?
Yes.
Yeah, Lost Child story separate. That was 2 years worth of Timeless. Thank you, that's it. But yeah.
Angel has a Sony Gyarados.
Well, they did the shiny Magikarp thing, remember?
Oh yeah.
Trying to make that sound like he's got something really, really special.
To me it is. It's a
But
shiny fluffy
anyway,
one.
yeah. Point was, both those stories were 2 years worth of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yes, they could have, the Timeless Child thing could have been, sort of done a little bit this season, but, it was just like that little hinting thing they, to scatter over the 2 seasons. Sort of just like little hints of it and then do it as the big thing next year. Because you know how some shows, they have that year's plot and then they start teasing up the next year plot.
Yeah.
They could have done that, but yeah. Yeah, Angel. Yeah, it's common now, Susie.
Shush.
Well, it's not that common, Angel, but yeah. Plus, anyone who's got access to a Gen 2 game can get a shiny Gyarados guaranteed. Then you can transfer it all the way up into Sword and Shield.
after the episode, I sent you a message and we were chatting about the ending. And we both had our...
yeah, like I said, it was just the whole Cyberman story was kind of wasted, isn't it, as a means in the end just to get all the other characters out of the way.
Yeah.
But which is kind of annoying because it's like, come on, they actually were doing something interesting with how they were using them.
I mean, admittedly, what they did.
I mean, to be fair, that is in the Master's character to do that sort of thing.
Exactly.
I mean, I would, but then bear in mind, given the archives are not complete, the Master could have been telling the truth from his perspective. Because if you've got incomplete history archives, it's just him putting together what he could work out.
Tinkler's still there.
Yeah, well, we're doing this knocked out at the minute anyway.
Okay, I'll stop it.
So, like, I mean, I myself don't care. Like I said, I actually kind of like it because they always have done this thing. Again, I don't want to go too far into spoilers on it, but they've always done this thing where a certain character's always been sort of pushed aside, even in the old era. Okay, yeah, it is the Doctor, so I might as well not hide that bit, but you get the whole point. Like, again, it's... Okay, again, to use Star Wars as an example, I actually liked where they were going with Last Jedi when it came to Rey. And the only thing, like, with how they were tying her then to Palpatine, I kind of wish they did it a little bit better. Because they kind of tried that bit rather badly. So... I mean, heck, from what I know already, the novelization version of Rise of Skywalker handles Palpatine's return much better than how the film did. So, heck, they even actually handled the whole Rey being Palpatine's descendant much better from the book in the book. So, the book does a better job at trying to continue on than the film did. Okay, I think I've reset. Yeah, I've reset.
Okay, if you find something better than my 4-star Kingler, let me know.
Yeah. I'm trying to see where the optimal route to get to raids. You see, that then makes you wonder why he agreed to do it, if that's the case.
Oh, Angel's got this.
Toxicity, yeah, problem is about Angel being able to say what it was like. It's
3-star.
But like concepts that were used in Last Jedi, though, it were decent. Yeah. Although again, like with everything that went on, Abrams is kind of partially at fault for not wanting to do it all, because they really should have had one person doing it. But again, that's not much. But like I was just, the main point, what I'm saying is, not everything that people don't like needs to be retconned or whatnot. That's what I'm saying. Is people were in some places jumping to this needs to be changed without seeing where things are going to go. That's the main point I'm saying. Yes, like I say, if his whole thing, like he's admitted to saying he wanted to wrap everything up and whatnot, well, that then causes a little bit of a problem. But people were not giving whatever film came next a chance to try and do its thing. That's the main thing. And this is why I was saying, like, with Doctor Who, it's... I kind of like where they've taken it. You know, and bear in mind, yes, and maybe in a few years, if things things don't pan out well enough, I might actually go, okay, it was a bad decision, but I'm at least going to give it a chance to, you know, do something.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And so... yeah. Mm. Mm. 5-star Grimsnarl. You see, again, it's only yeah, but then no one's letting it play out. That's the thing, that's what I'm saying. No one's letting where that's going to go play out. So... yeah, but obviously, like... do we even know
what happened in Gallifrey when Stephen Moffat brought her back and all that time before it got
Type
destroyed
2
again?
and 2 TARDIS. Yeah, but obviously, like... I mean, granted, I hadn't actually thought much about the TARDIS, the models of the TARDIS that they used to escape in. I mean... easily can be sort of just explained as, well, yeah, they were still trying to rebuild following the Time War, and that old model of TARDIS was just the quickest one they could build.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm launching the raid, sorry.
Oh, I was looking for it.
Sorry. Alex is distracting.
I did look at YouTube called Space Dog. The one that Doctor, or we've seen using the most, is a Type 40.
Yeah, no, that's not the point. I'm just saying is,
yeah.
The main point I'm saying is, yeah, even if it's meant to be a discontinued model of, yeah, and that's more at Martin's end. But I was saying though, even if it's meant to have been a discontinued model, like we don't know much about the way Gallifrey is post Time War,
or past it being reborn. Because when you think about it, I don't know how many years currently that would be from Stephen Moffat bringing it back to where we are now.
Yeah, well, again, because it's a time travel show, that could have been like Gallifrey that could be Gallifrey hundreds of years in its future.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. That is the problem. It's just like we don't know where that was meant to be on its point in time.
Well, that Gallifrey company is in a pocket dimension.
No, they bought it out.
How?
It wasn't part of an episode where the Master. It's the episode where David Tennant regenerated.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. They explained it there. Yeah.
But it went over 3 years, but normally where the actors will...
No, that was the whole... No, that one was when they revealed that Gallifrey was still alive.
Oh, no, sorry. It came back... what was it, the 50th episode?
What? No. That's when they revealed... That's when they did the Time War. It was definitely a Matt Smith episode.
What I'm trying to remember...
Because they had a thing where Gallifrey finally emerged.
It's not after Clara was killed. Was it that?
I honestly can't remember.
I am just checking in the map. 11th Doctor.
Oh, that'll be the 50th episode then.
That's what it went in.
11th Doctor, season 5, 6, 7.
Oh wait, are we on about the McGann film?
No. This is when.
Matt Smith.
Yeah, it'll be the 50th episode then.
Oh no, so maybe it wasn't in that. So no, it'd be 12th Doctor stuff then.
He's Capaldi.
Oh yeah, didn't they include Missy?
Yeah, I believe it did something like that. Because it was meant to have been like Gallifrey was. I can't remember the exact thing.
I can't remember either, but I remember Missy was in it.
Yeah, it was the it was the finale of the 2015 run.
Yeah. Oh, Ben.
Yeah, because Gallifrey.
Look at something. What's it?
Yeah, because remember Gallifrey had done a thing where they put Clara in a time loop
That was it, yeah.
because they were coming back. So yeah, that was it.
So it's actually when Clara's brought out from the point of death and ran off with the
Yeah, but Martin, I'm just saying though, that was the episode where Gallifrey returned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, Russell T Davis, this is the reason. Russell T Davis wanted it to be like Gallifrey was dead. Great Time War destroyed, some burning, la-di-da-di-da. He wanted it to be like the Doctor was the last of the Time Lords.
I mean,
So Moffat went, nah, we're going to bring it back.
yeah. Well, hold on, but first, then Russell brought back the Master.
Yeah, but the Master technically is what other people do with the Master, not what Russell did with the Master. The Master could have been, considering he pops up whenever he likes to, even in the old series.
Yeah, I mean, I was always hoping they'd bring like bring back someone like Rani, because she was an interesting villain as well. Because she was always doing genetic experiments and the like.
Yeah.
Just saying how many TV appearances, what stories Gallifrey's done, both combined major and minor, 19.
Yeah, but that's not the point, Martin.
But yeah, Russell T Davis wanted the Doctor to be like the last of the Time Lords, because that was like the main plot point of his Doctor, which I actually quite liked. And then, because it was the final one he did with Utopia.
Yeah, well, that was the Master Return arc.
Yeah, that was fantastic, because it was just, oh my god! Because you learned so many things in that, 3 episodes. It's great.
That's how Doctor structured that.
This is the thing, though. It's the one. I guess to say it's the one thing that always happens because they are always changing writers. Is that every writer's going to want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because then Steve Moffat was like, yeah, we're going to bring it back, and then Chris Nolan's like, nah.
No, there's a 3-star, etc. Again, like Alex, as I said, they can always spin it in a way that the Master was not lying, but it was the records that were the problem. Because again, as points out, as even he stated, the records are incomplete. It's just...
Sorry.
Because remember, he said a large chunk of the records were erased.
Yeah.
So it can just be that's how the master interpreted it. You know, again, to use a famous line from Star Wars. True from a certain point of view. And in the case there, it's the point of view that the master saw the records telling him.
Yeah.
So...
Why there were bits of the Doctor's past?
Plus also, if you want to get picky about timeline, the amount of times we've been in a timeline when the Earth is meant to have been destroyed, or Earth not even acknowledging the certain events happening in the past.
That is quite true. That has happened so many times, especially through David Tennant's Doctor Run. Oh my god.
Yeah. Plus there's other bits as well where it's a case of, there's a storyline that was set in a year which we've actually now lived through, and that storyline was never acknowledged, and yet the Doctor was on Earth at the same time as that storyline was meant to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no acknowledgement of that story existing. So, to get picky about Doctor Who's timeline, you're going to have to get picky with every single episode that has existed.
But the thing I want to point out about the Master is the fact that, well...
He's insane.
Yeah, that is literally his nature. He would probably do that over the times and thinking.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a spoiler if I mention that.
I mean, in the old... I mentioned this to Alex. In the old series, the Master went on a rampage purely because he could.
I don't know, Alex. Destroying basically Earth and then turning it into a massive shipyard for a rocket ship to make a new Gallifrey. I think that's on par.
And he's also done worse in the old series again, and he had really no reason other than I do it because I'm that crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my purpose out of the way.
With the Master does not need a reason.
No.
I mean, it's like asking anyone who... I mean, like, I've seen someone refer to it, like, you could argue the Master has some form of, whatever, I can't remember which, sort of mental health issue. Can't remember which one it is, but, yeah, basically, he does things because it's almost like he's compelled to do it. And he can't really explain why. He just, in his mind, comes up with reasons to try and link it, but it's not really there.
Yeah.
So, right, I mean, I've got basically no, apart from a 3-star toxicity. Excuse me. Apart from a 3-star toxicity, I've got nothing.
I'm actually purple. Nothing interesting.
Technically, the first Doctor was not banished to Earth.
He just ran away.
He just abandoned. Well, he just left Gallifrey with his granddaughter.
Yeah.
It was.
He stole the TARDIS and went, oh bye.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Because
3 was exiled.
Wait, what do you? At the end? No. It was the third Doctor that was banished.
Yeah.
The end of the second Doctor story.
Yeah.
but then they got the...
But that was because he was. That's because he was interfering beyond what they allow. So.
What was it? They called back... What was it? The 4th Doctor back, didn't they?
Fourth Doctor went back, and I believe it was during. I think it was the Fourth Doctor that then ended up becoming. It's either Fourth or Fifth Doctor became like president of Gallifrey.
Something like that, yeah.
Because then we had the trial of the Doctor, which is where an evil regeneration from a lost timeline basically tried to overthrow him to take that place in time. Which is also when, I believe that also is what led the Doctor to quit being the leader of the Time Lords. But yeah, but there's another point. Doctor Who has acknowledged timelines that come to exist and then cease to exist. So, again...
Wait. So, just think about it, right? So the first Doctor was basically, he stole a TARDIS, ran away from Gallifrey.
Yeah.
With his granddaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he could have maybe discovered something, like, not canonly, but maybe discovered something, and that's why he ran away?
I do not recall them ever giving a reason, so...
No, they never gave a reason, but just think about it now. There could be now a reason.
Yeah, but bear in mind the Doctor cannot know about the Timeless Child stuff, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, blimey. Yeah.
It cannot be the Timeless Child.
I was about the trial of a Time Lord story. That was Doctor number 6.
Yeah, but I didn't say which Doctor it was. I was just saying the reason I brought that storyline up in particular is because we have a Doctor incarnation from a lost timeline. Anyway, I'm launching my purple, and that's the key thing I'm just wanting to bring up. Lost timelines, which is what I was saying. The show acknowledges that there's timelines that come to exist and then cease to exist. Yeah, but again, you can always explain there's timelines that got lost. Doctor may only see the timeline that they have been on. Now, granted, the show probably could use an explanation as to how they handle the splintering on time. Because, like, obviously, because the whole concept of time travel stuff is really complicated, and different shows use different versions of it.
Yeah.
Although, the one thing, and not even just shows, film or media as a whole does it differently. Though, from what was considered, Avengers uses one of the most accurate, well, at least theoretically accurate depictions of time travel in the way they handle it with splintering time. There's a good episode about Avengers Endgame that Because Science did, which looks at the science of the time travelling, and they use there's this paper that was published which is like a very in-depth thing about how time travel would function and how it would splinter but then always try to come back. But you have all these different timelines that would end up existing that would, because the time would expand out and then collapse back in eventually. So, but again, like, the one key thing is, which I've seen pointed out about any show that deals with time travel as pretty much, any sort of media that deals with time travel as a major thing, is you've got to accept that no piece of media has done time travel cleanly. That's the one thing. I mean, even shows where they've only used time travel as a minor detail, they've made a mess with how they depict it. So, Yeah, but bear in mind though, Alex, again, depending on how with things, the Doctor may not have realised they had missing information about their time. So again, got to see where they're going to take this.
So Jodie's Doctor during the final episode, no, what's the one before? Was it? I think she said that she knew how she grew up.
Yeah, that was the whole bit. I mean, like, because here's the thing, like, with one thing they established with the old series, regeneration can basically change them in any way.
Yeah.
So even though they've never depicted it, there's always the chance they could revert to a child.
That's true.
I mean, I've also got the possibility of maybe cloning on my mind. So the time that so they could still have the Doctor be the timeless child, but the Doctor we follow is not the timeless child. So, yeah, but obviously, Alex, Chris may not follow it up. The next writer could follow it up. So you can't just say everything's ruined because of one guy. I'm just saying is, they could have it that something happened to that original incarnation. You know, the original line of the timeless child. Something happened to them. Yeah, that's still the next. Yeah, but bear in mind it could be sat on for a few years. I mean, there's story things that they come back to after years.
I mean, I'm still waiting for them to get back to doing enough of being the Doctor's daughter.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was also some stuff in the original series, the original run, that didn't get picked up until another Doctor. So, like, you can't just say, people can't just jump on things. Look, I think at the moment, if the BBC has to axe Doctor Who, it's not going to be because of the show itself. It's going to be because the BBC is not doing so good on the financial side.
No, it's not.
And Doctor Who is their most expensive show.
It doesn't really help that they keep on releasing really crap things on like BBC and blah blah blah.
And bear in mind what their second most expensive show on the BBC is.
It's probably going to be Holby City.
No, it's Top Gear.
Is it?
Only because of the insurance.
Oh, blimey.
Because you've got to think about how much the insurance on that show is.
Oh, I was thinking it was going to be something like Holby and Casualty, considering how long that's been going on for. Yeah,
but the thing like Holby City, Casualty, even EastEnders, they are adjusting their cast every few months, every year or so, a little bit.
No, they're not. They've still got people from the original.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to be that expensive, but like I say, Top Gear is meant to be the second most expensive show. Purely because of, the insurance that they have to have.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think about it. It's not just for the three presenters. You've got to have the crew who are going to be doing stuff with the vehicles, all the extra stunt drivers, and plus loads of other liabilities that they have to fill in. Plus also, bear in mind when you consider the costs of some of the cars they drive as well.
Yeah.
And also to Top Gear, goodbye to BBC 2.
That doesn't make a difference for their budget, Martin. Just because the show is going to move, just because the show's going to move to BBC One doesn't really make much difference on the budget, because BBC One has some cheap shows on it. And I don't mean, that they're bad because they're cheap. It's just, that they don't, they're just shows that don't need much of a budget. I mean, BBC has invested in a streaming service. It's the partnership it's done with ITV. So, But again, all I'm going to say is if people are going to get super picky about a time-travelling show's timeline and stuff relating to that, yeah, you are ignoring the fact that nothing has done a time travel correct or in a clean way. I mean, pretty much. I mean, like, use another time-travelling show that's on screens now at the moment, Legends of Tomorrow. That thing is just... You try following that thing's timeline, it's... Yeah, you are going to be scratching your heads because there's a amount of things they've done which should have been brought up in other shows. Trying to find one more raid. Yeah, but then... Motive is hard because, again, like... It can be tricky because, again, we've got to remember, like, some of the motive things... You have to consider like some of the rules the BBC have to operate under. Yes, I think there is some bad implementation, but you get the point. Anyway, I've got.
I was about to say about my purple.
Oh, I was launching a 3-star toxicity.
Alright, never mind.
Yeah, I've been setting up my purple for a while.
Oh.
What's nothing interesting? What's the raspberry?
I've got that one as well. I've got a name.
What level? What star rating is?
Yeah, well, again, like... Yeah, but again, it's just like... They can easily go beyond and say... Well, that bit can easily be retconned, that one. Well, it's not even really a retcon, because they never actually... They never truly state that mysterious person is the first incarnation. They just acknowledge to be an early, an incarnation that was from before William Hartnell.
But we don't know how far.
Plus, technically, if you follow the Timeless Child story, the whole thing of that missing Doctor we encounter had already been through several regenerations, so you can't even claim that that's the first incarnation. So...
I think it's actually when we saw...
Just waiting for Susie.
That may not be...
Yeah, again, but you know what I mean, Alex. It's...
So we don't know how many times the Doctor generated and came through that rift.
I think that's probably one of the that's probably now the big that's probably to me the biggest story question, because it's like, well, why did they do, why did they go against the whole they granted a new regeneration cycle?
Time Lords can only regenerate 12 times, but the Doctor can regenerate multiple times.
Yeah. Because they did that thing, remember, at the end of the Matt Smith run, where it was he had run out of regenerations.
Yeah.
And Clara managed to get them to grant a new cycle. And so how does that work now? Was it
Yay!
That's the only thing I really have the thing of. Again, the Master's known to cheat the system because he's got his hands on some technology. He's always been known to have ways to cheat the regeneration system, so that's fine.
But the only time he got when the Time Lords actually revived him from 1996 movie called Time War, regenerated him with kid.
Well, that's because they were hoping they could actually, by reversing that can happen. Yeah, but again, you're forgetting that Doctor Who was never meant to be a sci-fi show in the first place. If you go by its original premise, it was meant to be a actual historical show.
I mean, it's some aspects it is from sci-fi. There's just now modern day issues incorporated into the show.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Besides, The one thing I know like, a lot of people complain about on the political thing is like, come on, that's cheap points they could dig at a certain idiot. I'm not going to say who. Because you know which one that everyone just wants to take the mickey out of anyway.
Yeah. But no, people point out the same thing with Star Trek, but then I kind of laugh because Gene Roddenberry's thinking was always of like their universe, and that's why he created Star Trek. And then people are like, oh, it's no longer sci-fi, it's all PC, man. Like, yeah, you really don't know the background of Star Trek, don't ya?
There's many other things, and like, I will also point out like the one thing like on a franchise I love, which is the Gundam franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, giant mechs all going on around war. That gets very political because obviously you're dealing with a war anime. Politics is always important for war.
Yeah, it's also.
But yeah, they always put. But the politics is, and you get people who complain Gundam is just, goes too political, and it's just like, well, come on, it is still completely made up stuff because sometimes some of these cause and these things around the war, and you're dealing with giant mechs, which is the main focus.
Oh yeah.
You can't really go too much outside of that.
No, you can't.
Or Chickpea Purple. There's also the Gundam. You got multiple timelines.
Hey, look, and okay, Alex. To be fair, I actually might watch EastEnders if they did that. Because that actually would make the show more interesting.
I would be interested in watching.
No, it limit reached.
Yeah.
But then again, EastEnders is a soap,
Yeah.
not a fictional TV show.
And even then, I know from over the years there's been complaints around EastEnders when they've changed the head writer because they don't do some characters the same way as the previous head writer. So again, it's a thing with with a long-running franchise. You change the person in charge, they're going to want to do things their way.
Yeah, EastEnders has come a lot of fire, I do know.
And so any long run, like, it's going to happen with everything, and like we are in. I think probably the one thing that hasn't. I mean, no, it's not always going to be for the best, but it's always the case of. It's going to happen. Everything's not. You're never going to have everything run perfectly all the time. If you did, how are things going to learn what works and what doesn't work? And other odds and ends, like, again. And actually, again, to like, because I brought up like some of the stuff Linkara's mentioned before. It's regardless of whether something is good or bad, and that's always in a person's that's always on your own personal opinion. It's a case of when it comes to media cannot evolve unless it tries different things, especially on long-running forms of media. So and you just have to take what comes when it comes. And there are some long-running forms of media that, are actually in positions where they can try these things. And long-running media has the luxury of being able to try it. Because if they don't try new things, it's going to get stale.
And even sports have to change it now and then.
Who cares about sports unless it's para sports?
Okay.
But that's not the thing, because like, if you don't evolve your storytelling into new ways, you're just going to be telling the exact same story again and again and again. So,
Pretty boring after a while.
exactly. Like, if every series of Doctor Who was done the same way as when Russell T Davies brought the show back, it would not have lasted in the revived state. I mean, same thing with, it's what allowed the old era to last so long, because they changed things up. And when they first did that, that was considered a no-no at the time. Normally, what would happen is when people, when like the key people leave, a thing gets axed, or and they wrap it all up. But no, they kept it going. And yeah, you can see that throughout its entire history, it's gone down paths which haven't worked out so well in different bits. Again, like Susie's saying with Star Trek, they're going to have done the same thing.
They have done the same.
And comics have done the same. And whatnot. And many other things that would have done the same things, or they've tried, because they have to evolve with the times. Again, Doctor Who would not have survived if it stayed in its old 1960s way. So, is necessarily every change, like I said, every change they do for the better? No. But it's only by by just going out, it's bad, it's terrible, it's ruined. That's not going to teach the people making these decisions why it's not working. Constructive criticism is the better way to tell them. And that's and people who actually put the properly thought out things where they say, this bit worked and this bit didn't, or this bit would have worked if you had maybe gone down this sort of path, and where you actually give the proper bits. Just tearing it apart and completely is not going to teach anything. You have to give the whole. You have to go through the whole thing. And the other bit is as well, when they're in the middle of a story, or they're going for a longer arcing story, you've got to let, in a way, you've got to give it the best way. You can't just sort of change direction part way through. Or, in a way, or just tell him to completely redo it. You can, pick out sort of try highlighting what bits can work. Even if at the moment they don't work. It's like, look, improve on this element. I know I'm probably not making much sense in the way I'm trying to explain this, but it's the way that, it's the way it sort of all goes around. I mean, obviously we've been playing Pokemon, and the amount of people, when Pokemon Gen 7 was announced, that thought Pokemon was dead because they got rid of the gyms. And they were just completely deriding it, the Sun and Moon, because there was going to be a no gym system. And yet, I mean, granted, people actually enjoyed the different thing in the end, but you get the whole thing. And in a way, that's the sort of thing that they've taken from Sun and Moon. People enjoyed the sort of more puzzly aspects of the challenges instead. And that's how they've created the gym challenge here. Make it, sort of like go take a decent bit from the past and then what they change there. When we get to Pokemon Gen 9, they're going to take the bits that worked from Sword and Shield and improve on those. At least, that's the way it should be. Because they do seem to take the best elements and go on and again. Yeah, but I'm just saying, ranting and raving and just going, it's bad. That's going to give them more reason to ignore, because they're not going to. People are less likely going to listen. Now, obviously, I don't know how the BBC go about determining key factors and whatnot, so. That's the problem, because obviously when we don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
We don't know a lot of things that go on behind closed doors, like for why certain decisions end up being made. So, but, again, I brought this up to you directly, Alex, and it's the one thing that always sticks with me when I'm trying to work out my opinions on stuff. Humans have a tendency to latch on to negatives too easily. And that's why, looking for the positives, even amongst a bad thing, is important. Because it's too easy to overlook the negatives. And this applies to everything. Yes, there are some things that exist that a positive to be found in can never over the positives. Yeah, so you know how my mind is, and yes, there are things that exist that a positive can't be found in. If you have a serious illness or something.
Yeah.
There is never a positive in that. But especially when it comes to things that are a work of fiction, that is where we should always be keeping an eye out for the positives that comes with. Now, I know this has gone a bit deep for what I normally try and do on a video gaming channel, but it applies to video games, this mentality as well. So, because I've had some video games that I have enjoyed that people have hated.
Yeah.
So, and then there's video games I've hated that people have enjoyed. And then there are just games that I just don't like the look of, but I've respected what they have stood for, what they have sort of, not they stood for, but given to the industry. Or what they do. So I was, trying to think. Even actually recently, finally playing, in the past, Final Fantasy VII, I get what it did for the industry, being able to do these big stories, and obviously, I finally played it. It just never interested me, really, and just, yes, I finally decided to give it a try, but there's other things as well that I don't have interest in out there. So, and for what it is, some of the fighting games that exist, I've got no interest in them, but I see the positives for what they have done to evolve that genre, and how other games take those elements and take the lessons to do it. So, yeah, it's... Yeah, in a way with zombie games, yes. There are certain games there that exist, particularly the Resident Evil games, which have... I see where some of the concepts they've done have been used to evolve other things. So... I'm not too familiar with the whole stuff with The Last of Us, I'll admit. So that's a harder one for me to obviously bring up. So, because there are some games I'm not. It is dependent on how familiar I am with the game itself. So that is the thing. I mean, obviously, like, I mean, as bad, like another thing, like you want a bad game, which I do find some enjoyable things in. Aliens Colonial Marines. As much of a bad game that is, there were some cool concepts in there for what they did. Not many, but there were a couple of nice little cool story ideas in there and whatnot. And a couple of other little things that they implemented which were cool in concept. Again, just badly executed. So yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna end it here because this is a conversation that could take a long. Oh yeah, I know that bit about the story, Alex. I mean, it's just like I haven't seen much in the way of like the game as a whole. I mean, I do admit I want to sit and watch a Let's Play at some point. So I know like some little basics. That's what I mean. It's like I'm not familiar with the game as a whole. That's what I meant. So, but yeah, like this can go on for a long time, and I apologise to anyone who actually found this whole last however long boring. But unfortunately, when I feel that things are getting too negative in some ways, it's one of those things that sort of grind me a bit, where it's I need to be like, let's not have as much let's not try and be negative, you know, unless there is something there, so something truly to actually be negative on. And come on, when you're meant to be enjoying, you know, coming and enjoying playing video games, you don't want the negativity. So let's so in 45 minutes, let's go and watch 2 amputees and a guy from Devon just make a mockery of the week.
Guy from Devon.
I mean, that is kind of what he's described himself as.
I know what show you mean.
Yeah. So regardless, so yeah, we'll do GTA tomorrow. We'll work out something for we'll work out something for Sunday. Probably on Sunday, because we might want to try and do some last minute raids before these go away. But yeah, then Shield on Monday, and well, yeah, next week's schedule should be normal anyway. So, and then I think we'll do some Titanfall on Friday, Susie.
Oh boy.
Because I have something for Wendesday already. Because I picked something up cheap off of Steam. PS4, because Susie can't play Titanfall on her PC.
Or you could do PC and play with Alex.
I mean, would Alex be up in time on the next Friday?
I'm just bad at online.
Yeah. Well, we'll work out during the week anyway, because that's a week away. So we can work that all out then later in the week, because yeah. Anyway, follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. I need to stretch. My shoulder's locked up.
Oof.
And it's my bad shoulder. Which makes it even worse. Night night.